Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel where we discuss all things narcissism, and this video is going to be about a few things that will trigger a narcissistic person. And when it comes to dealing with narcissistic people, it's advisable not to trigger them on purpose, as it can cause a narcissistic injury leading to narcissistic rage. This is more just to describe why a narcissistic person reacts so badly to you, to explain more that it's not your fault. Their behaviour is on them and who they are as a person, and has very little to do with who you are as a person. However, as they don't take responsibility for their behaviour, they're going to go all out to find a way to blame and shame you so that you end up taking responsibility for their behaviour. So one thing that triggers a narcissistic person is when they get caught out on their behaviour, when they get caught out on their lies. As narcissistic people believe they're entitled to do as they please, they put little thought into their actions beforehand of potential consequences. They can be very impulsive and they go right ahead and do something, and then when they get caught out, when you call them out on their behaviour, they get offended by this. They believe that you are the one that has turned against them, that you are the one who is untrustworthy, that you are the one that is plotting and planning against them. And they fail to take responsibility. Therefore, they're not going to accept what they've done. They're not going to learn from a mistake. They're just going to find a way to manipulate you so that they can get away with whatever they've done. They're going to find a way to gaslight you so that they can get away with whatever they've done, which is when you catch them out on something, they're not sorry that they hurt you. They're sorry that they got caught, and they then turn it around and claim that you're the one causing the problems. You're the one that's causing the argument. You're the one with the trust issues. You're the one that's insecure, because they don't want to change their behaviour. They want you to feel responsible for their behaviour so that you go and apologise to them for the very things that they're doing to you. Losing control over somebody is also going to trigger a narcissistic person, again due to their sense of entitlement and the arrogance that they believe that they are always in the right and everything should just go their way, and their envy towards others. So they don't want to see other people being successful. They don't want to see other people being happy unless they are the cause of that happiness. So if they're love bombing you and gaining that affection from you and that gratitude from you, that works well for them. However, if something else is making you happy, that pangs that envy within them, which is when they start throwing all those false accusations at you. When they can no longer get their needs met by you is when they go all out to smear your name, to ruin your credibility so that they can sabotage your life in any way that they can so that they can remain in control of the situation. Also, when it comes to a narcissistic person, if they're losing control, they on some level fear that exposure, whether that's just that they don't want to be painted out in a negative light, whether they just don't want people to look poorly of them. They might believe in their own minds that you are the one that's lying about them. However, due to the fact that they don't want people to look poorly of them, they're going to paint you in a negative light so that people support the narcissist, give the narcissist that attention, which is often why they play the victim oh so well. Being held accountable for their behaviour is another thing that a narcissistic person really doesn't take too kindly to, because they don't believe they're responsible for the things they do wrong. They believe they're superior and they should just be allowed to do as they please. Therefore, when you try to hold a narcissistic person accountable for their behaviour, they're going to be offended by this. They're going to turn it around any way they can as to why it is your fault that they behaved in the manner that they did. When they believe there's no other way out of it, they're going to turn around and say things such as, if you hadn't, I wouldn't. You know what I'm like. It's not my fault. You misunderstood me. They do not like being held accountable. Another thing narcissistic people don't like is not getting the attention that they believe they are entitled to. They're seeking that excessive attention from others. They're seeking that validation from those around them. Now, we can all seek validation from others, especially when we're feeling full of self-doubt or feeling confused, and when we want to work out whether we are doing something right or not. Narcissistic people tend to seek validation to prove that what they did wrong was okay, when it's never okay to hurt another person. Narcissistic people seek that validation by playing the victim to gain sympathetic attention from those around them so that they can get away with their behaviour. And criticism. Not many people take too kindly to criticism. However, when it comes to narcissistic people, they don't take kindly to constructive criticism, constructive feedback, constructive advice, people trying to help them and support them. Now, it's difficult to differentiate because a narcissistic person can come at you with what seemingly looks like constructive criticism, like they care about you and they want what's best for you, so you can follow their advice. However, they are actually sabotaging you because they don't want you to succeed. They don't want you to do something. And when you go ahead and do it, we can find ourselves making mistakes and thinking, oh, perhaps they were right. Perhaps I shouldn't have done that. And this is a point where we don't quit. We have to keep going. As long as our intentions are good, we have to keep going until we can achieve something for ourselves. So someone can give us constructive feedback, and due to all the negativity and the criticism that we've received from a narcissist, we can also potentially take offence to constructive feedback. However, the majority of people will then take their time to sit and work through the situation and reevaluate the lead up to events and go over things to process, to then go and communicate with the other person and work it out. Narcissistic people aren't interested in that communication, especially when it could potentially paint them in a negative light. They're not interested in that communication. They're not interested in gaining that understanding. They're interested in having absolutely everything their own way. And with their double standards, they will happily pull other people down. They'll happily criticize other people, mock other people, and they believe that they are self-righteous in one sense in doing this. They believe that they're entitled to do this and that it's how they're making the world a better place by criticising and mocking other people, when in reality they're just envious of those other people. However, nobody should ever criticise or mock or humiliate them. And the thing is, you can't even find a way where you can make yourself not humiliate them or criticize them, because you can say something in the most affectionate way, in the most well-meaning way, because you care, and they take offense to it and they punish you, they fall silent on you, they replace you, they gaslight you because they can't take to that feedback. They are some of the most sensitive people you could ever meet. However, they don't recognize this within themselves. They just turn around and accuse you of being too sensitive, projecting onto you to hide that they're very insensitive people. However, when it comes to a narcissistic person, not only do they accuse you of being too sensitive, they provoke those feelings within you so that they can feel better about themselves. Instead of being open and honest and discussing these things and recognizing that we can all be sensitive, they don't want to recognize that. They want to put an exterior wall up, that there's nothing wrong with them. They never have any issues whatsoever. So they're going to provoke feelings within you to create you into feeling sensitive about something so that they can feel better about who they are. See, they're too sensitive. It's not just me. They're worse than me. When it comes to a narcissistic person, they are all about self. They're all about getting their own way. They're all about getting their needs met, and they lack the empathy to care for those around them. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support of the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.